Beyond the talking teacups and castle curses, the narrative of Beauty and the Beast details a specific process for navigating internal conflict. It provides a structural look at how the mind can fracture under pressure and eventually find its way back to coherence. This framework is rooted in the work of psychiatrist Carl Jung. Jung interpreted these recurring stories as guides for individuation, the difficult, lifelong journey of identifying the hidden parts of our psyche and merging them into a conscious whole. The Beast embodies the wounded healer archetype. He is a character defined by deep, unaddressed internal trauma. His physical form is a manifestation of a soul that has become fragmented by its own pain. When an individual refuses to acknowledge their internal wounds, that pain inevitably bleeds into their external reality. This is the mechanics of projection, where we perceive our own buried rage and shame in the world around us because we cannot bear to witness it within ourselves. The Beast's outbursts are a realistic depiction of this process. His toxicity is the result of unintegrated pain lashing out at an environment it no longer recognizes. His environment reinforces this state of mind. The decaying, isolated castle serves as a metaphor for a retreating unconscious, a mental space that has been walled off from the corrective influence of other people. Academic analysis of the tale identifies the castle as the unconscious mind itself. Within these walls, the Beast is trapped by his own neurosis, unable to distinguish his internal suffering from the reality of the people he encounters. This isolation carries a high psychological cost. By refusing to face his shadow, those repressed, undesirable traits he has locked away, the Beast ensures he will remain stuck in a loop of self-imposed monstrosity. A mind cannot break the cycle of projection while remaining entirely alone. Breaking this loop requires an external force to disrupt the walls of the unconscious and force a confrontation with the truth. Belle serves as the catalyst for the Beast's internal reflection. She enters the castle not as a prize, but as a necessary observer whose presence changes the environment of the Beast's mind. Belle represents the Syzygy, the Jungian union of opposites. She functions as a relational mirror, providing an objective view of his behavior. The journey toward wholeness requires a conscious relationship, creating a space forcing individuals to face their exiled aspects. This pattern appears throughout history, notably in the myth of Cupid and Psyche. In that story, a supposedly monstrous partner is transformed when the lover dares to look directly at them, replacing fearful projections with clear sight. Belle initiates this change by applying bounded empathy and objective mirroring. She does not accept his outbursts. She reflects them back to him. When the Beast loses his temper, he is attempting to offload his internal chaos. He expects Belle to absorb his rage and validate his view of himself as a monster. Belle disrupts this cycle by establishing strict personal boundaries. She refuses to be a blank screen for his negative projections, forcing his hostility to stop at her feet rather than being absorbed. As Belle holds her ground, the Beast loses the ability to project his pain outward. This creates a pivotal moment of introspection. He is forced to look into the enchanted mirror of their relationship and see his own cruelty. This forces a perspective shift. To keep Belle in his life, he must deprioritize his animal impulses and recognize her as an equal. He begins replacing his monstrous defenses with human conversation and genuine consideration. By maintaining these boundaries, Belle provides the secure environment necessary for the Beast to bridge his fractured psyche. He begins to take responsibility for his wounds, rather than demanding the world suffer for them. This internal work culminates in the breaking of the curse. This moment is the logical result of the Beast's willingness to see himself clearly. The physical transformation into a prince represents the successful resolution of his internal conflicts. It is the visual conclusion of a long process of self-reflection. This is the essence of integration, taking the trauma of the shadow out of the dark unconscious and merging it with the conscious self. By accepting his own capacity for both ugliness and kindness, the Beast becomes whole. The prince is a shorthand for a mind that has navigated its own neuroses. He is no longer a victim of his projections, but an individual who has earned his own humanity through the labor of self-awareness. This isn't a simple fix. It is the daily work of maintaining a conscious relationship where both parties are willing to be seen exactly as they are. To resolve the conflicts within ourselves, or to navigate the difficult relationships in our lives, we must be willing to act as both the unwavering mirror and the light.